This lesson is on multiplying monomials and binomials. So let's look at example 1. Example 1 says 3x squared times negative 4x. So if we have that, we're going to go ahead and look at the coefficient first, which is 3 times negative 4, which equals negative 12. So we're going to bring negative 12 down, and then we're going to look at the variables next. So we have is x squared times x. So x squared times x, what does that mean? It means that we're going to go ahead and write it out 3 times. Now, because this is x squared right here, this tells me that I have 2 x's. So I have is 1 right here and then 2 right here. And this is x to the first power, so there is only 1 x right here. So I copy that 1 x right here. So together, they become x to the third power. So we're going to go ahead and bring x to the third power down. And so your final answer is negative 12 x to the third power. Okay, let's look at example 2. This looks a little complicated because we have a couple more variables involved, but it's the same step as example 1. So we're going to take it one at a time. We're going to go ahead and look at the coefficient first, which is negative 2 times negative 3, giving us positive 6. So we're going to copy that 6 down. The next variable that we're going to look at is the a's. So it's going to be a squared times a, which is a to the third power. Then we're going to look at is the next variable, which is the b. So now is b times b to the third is equal to b to the fourth right there. Now same thing, because there's only one b right here, that's this one b right here, and then there's 3 of these b's, so that becomes 1, 2, and 3 right there. So altogether it becomes b to the fourth. So let's bring down b to the fourth, and then that becomes your final answer. Okay, example 3. Now we're going to do binomials. So binomials, as you can see, there are 2 terms in this parentheses, and there are 2 terms in this parentheses. So we're going to go ahead and multiply. So it's exactly the same thing as the monomials, but it's going to take us a couple more steps to do. So we're going to look at is the first term in the first binomial set and first term in the second binomial set, and we're going to multiply those together. So you have is 2x times 4x is equal to 8x squared, because that was the 2 times 4 gives me the 8, and x times x is like x to the first, so together that makes x to the second power. Okay, so I'm going to pull down my 8x squared. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, but take the 2x and we're going to multiply it all the way out there to the negative 5y, which is the second term of the second binomial set. So there we have is 2x times negative 5y. 2 times negative 5 will give us negative 10. And since there is no other x and y, we just copy x and y. If there were more x's and y's, then we would have to add them up, right? So we're going to go ahead and now bring down the negative 10xy. Okay, now next part is the 3y, and we're going to multiply to the 4x. So using now the second term of the first binomial set, and we're going to multiply to the first term of the second binomial set. So in this case, it will be 3y times 4x. So 3 times 4 will give us 12. There are no additional x and y's, so we just copy the x and y's. So let me go ahead and bring the 12xy. Okay, now next is the 3y times the negative 5y. So if we multiply that together, 3 times negative 5 gives me negative 15, and y times y will give us y to the second, because there are 2 of those y's. So if we bring that one down, so let me go ahead and bring this up. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and try to combine like terms. So right here, we can actually combine like terms by adding negative 10 and 12 together. So that will give us positive 2xy. And so if we bring the 8x squared and negative 15y squared down, our final answer will be then 8x squared plus 2xy minus 15y squared. Okay, let's now look at example 4. So same thing, we're going to take the first term and multiply to the first term of the binomial set, of the second binomial set. So it's going to be then 2y times 4y, which gives us 8y squared. So let me go ahead and bring that down. So the next one is we're going to go ahead and multiply by 2y times 2. So that's going to give me 4y. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. Okay, now let's go into the 3. So 3 times 4y will give me positive 12. So we're going to bring that down. And then 3 times 2 will give me 6. So I'm going to go ahead and bring 6 down. Okay, now let's go ahead and combine like terms. So again, look at the middle term right there. And we're going to see that 4y and 12y can be combined. So if we combine those together, that becomes 16y. So your final answer is 8y squared plus 16y plus 6. So that is the lesson for multiplying monomials and binomials.